Meditation means concentration on God. And so Jesus said, learn those things first. And so the child of God cultivates those habits, those meditative habits which give him what? God contact. Then he doesn't do the things perhaps he's accustomed to do. What does he do? The things he should do. Is that clear? Too. The worldly man, he does the things in an automatic way, following the worldly habits, because he's known nothing else since a little fellow. He's been brought up in the wheel of society and social conditions where the habits are fixed, difficult to break through those, and so he does that. He follows habits of a worldly nature. Now, the child of God does not do that. The child of God, he follows the words of Jesus. Seek first the kingdom of heaven. Or the words of the Master. Make meditation a daily habit. Seek first the kingdom of heaven. Therefore, he does that. He forms habits of meditation, attaining God contact. Then he does not act automatically to do the things he's accustomed to do, but he acts to do the things he should do. So just realize that. Now we come to the battle. One other thing now. What is the deepest ingrained habit we have? Did you ever stop to think? Some say, I have no habit. I say, yes, you have. Because you think you are that body. That's the deepest ingrained habit. The idea that we are this body. That's the deepest ingrained habit. Did you ever stop to think of it? Try to get out of it. Try to sit in meditation and expand your consciousness. Then you'll know how deep it is. How deeply ingrained, rather, it is. So that's the deepest ingrained habit, is the idea that we are this body. Patanjali said, clean out the mental cancer that you are the body. Why? Why? Why shouldn't I feel good and feel this body? Why? Because it keeps you in delusion. It keeps you in worldly consciousness. And so we must realize we are not this body. That's why we meditate. That's why we try. That's why we pray. Father, get me out of this delusion that I am this limited body. I'm not this body. My consciousness is one with thy consciousness, and thy consciousness is omniscient. Because the scriptures say so, and the Master has told me so. And all the great saints say so. And so this idea that we are the body is wrong, because we are not the body. It's the most deeply ingrained habit we have. I was telling a man one time, I was enthused, and I was saying, you're not this body at all. You just think you are. He was getting red in the face, and so was I. And I said, you're not this body. You're not this body at all. You're far greater than that. When you meditate and sleep, where are you? You're not this body. And I went on and on. Suddenly he says, and his face is puffed up, and he says, well, if I'm not this body, who in the dickens am I? And he meant it. If I'm not this body, what am I? So then I had to quietly tell him, get him to try to meditate. He was an elderly fellow, and they don't take to meditation so well. But he did, and I knew him for a great many years. He was a very good man, and we used to have some heated discussions. I was a little enthusiastic, so was he. If he wasn't the body, he wanted to know what he was. So I had to try and tell him in my way. And so that's the most deeply ingrained, the deepest ingrained habit is that we think we are this body. Patanjali said, get rid of that idea. And meditation, self-realization techniques will help you to get rid of the idea that you are the body. And when you do that, instead of losing anything, you will lose something, all right, but it doesn't amount to anything. You will lose it, but you will get a freedom that you never knew existed, because it is this limited vehicle which keeps us tied to this realm of cosmic delusion, this realm of worldly consciousness. Now we come to the battle of habits, the battle of habits. Remember, they're automatic. Now we have health and ill health. You know, when you have good health, you've seen people, the habit is established, and they go right on in good health. The person who has bad health, the habit goes on, and he gets worse and worse and worse without trying. Why? Because it's automatic. He's formed those habits. His karmic impulses have created in him those habits of ill health or doing things which produce ill health, and it goes on automatically. So the worst of this habit, it works both ways. If it would work just on the good side, it'd be fine, but it works the other way. And so realize when you have good health, the natural outcome is through the law of habit to keep on having better health. There are exceptions, and also when you have ill health, it's mighty easy to get worse, as I'm sure you all realize. Now the same with spirituality. You know some people, they have no trouble at all in being good, because the habit is established, and the good multiplies through the law of habit. Others try to be good, and everything works the other way, pulling them down through the law of habit. And so this habit works both ways. Now these bad habits, established in childhood, must be considered. Bad habits encountered in childhood tend to become fixed. Bad habits of lack of discipline, lack of obedience, lack of consideration for others, lack of honesty, all those things, lack of uprightness. Those things are sometimes established in childhood, and they persist, they become fixed, causing much trouble later on in life. And then we also have the habit of society. Society runs on the wheels of habit, and you know how difficult it is to break through those social habits, so to speak. The master used to say, when you walk on the side of the road with the rest of them, it's fine. But when you walk in the middle of the road, then you get the brickbats and tomatoes and all such things. Why? Because you break the habit. You go against the habit of society. And so society runs on the wheels of established habits. But we must realize this. We must break those habits. We have to change those bad habits. We have to replace them by good habits. How to do it? Starve the bad habits. Replace those by habits of self-discipline.